Hey, in this video, I am going to talk about my favorite kind of secret weapon in Procreate that I like to use for my fashion drawings. I don't always use a croquis or a fashion template when I teach my Outschool fashion classes because I teach pretty short classes and I want to make sure that the students have the time to focus on the clothing. And I know that the croquis kind of helps that, but with having to print it out and all of that extra stuff, it just makes it easier to do like a flat sketch and again just focus on the garment. So what we do in Procreate is we use the Symmetry Tool, and I just found this picture from Pinterest from my fashion camp board that I also use for my Outschool classes. So let's get started. The way that we turn on the Symmetry Tool is we go to the Actions tool. You want to go to Canvas, and you want to turn on your drawing guide. And I already have this turned on, so it's already there, but you can go into Edit Drawing Guide. And because I have the reference photo actually on my canvas, I am going to move it over so that I have enough space to draw on both sides because the dress goes out a little bit far. So once you have all of that, I have my Symmetry Tool turned on, options set to vertical. I'm going to turn on assisted drawing, and then I'm going to click this big yellow orange kind of done button to set everything. Now I also want to fix my picture because it is a little bit crooked. See if I can fix it and move it over just a little bit. Okay, so now that I have that, I am going to change my pencil color to pink, and I am going to grab the 6B pencil from the sketching section. So because I'm on a new layer, every time you go to a new layer, you have to turn on your drawing assist. But I just turned it on here, but you also see that it is on my reference layer, which I don't really need. So I'm going to turn that part off. And then we are going to start by sketching this dress. All right. And as you can see, when you draw on one side, Procreate draws it on the other side. So it helps to draw it a little bit more accurately and a lot faster. So let's bring this part down. And then we want to close off the bodice. Now I can draw the darts here. I'm not gonna draw that center dart. I'm gonna wait until I turn the drawing assist tool off. That's another good thing. You can turn it on and off as you draw in Procreate. So let's say you don't want everything to be perfectly symmetrical. You want a little bit of variation. You can turn it off, and then when you're ready, turn it back on. So now let's draw the spaghetti straps. And then I'm going to draw this first tier. And I'm going to just draw the outer parts and then come back and draw the gathers. Then I'm going to go on to the second tier, which is a little bit wider. Third tier, which is longer. Now for the bottom here, if you don't want to make this perfect, turn that Symmetry Tool off, and then you can have a little bit more freedom with the bottom of the dress or the bottom of the tier. I'm going to leave it turned off for this bottom tier. And I can draw a few more like ripples and folds. Okay. So this is the overall shape of the dress. Again, we're not drawing any body because we want to focus on the garment only. So I have the option to turn back on the Symmetry Tool if I want to, so that we can go in and draw those little gathers. Since I have it off, I am just going to go ahead and draw that center line. And then I'm just going to draw like these little squiggle shapes to indicate the gathers. And these are things that can be more defined when we turn on, when we add the color and different things like that. See how quick that was. Now this is only the rough sketch, so if you wanted to add more details, you still have a little bit more work to do, but it's a very nice looking dress for only, let's see how many minutes. It hasn't been very long. Oh wait, no, I can't use this part. Procreate tracks the entire time that you've drawn in a particular canvas, but this is only taking us just a few minutes to do it. I forgot that I used this for the actual class, so it has all of the times that I have come into this canvas to draw. So that's an important kind of thing. If you want to track your time in Procreate, you want to start a new canvas so that it can be an accurate representation of how much time you spent. And I know I've said like accurate like 5 times already, but just so that you can keep track of how long it takes you if you're doing it, you know, for a particular client or something like that. Just always start a new canvas. Okay, so I have my dress done. I can begin to outline it and add some of the final details. If you just want to practice drawing the silhouette, then you're pretty much done. But if you want to add a few more details, then there are a few more steps that we need to do. Now that we have the actual sketch done, we can go back and ink it. The first thing that we want to do is to set this layer to multiply. And then it just helps us to see like what we're doing a little bit more. Sometimes I put the layer beneath my final outline layer, beneath this sketch layer. Sometimes I put it above because it is a little bit harder for me to see sometimes. So I have it above here today, and I am going to use the studio pen from the inking section to ink this. You don't have to always do your outline in black. I am using just a darker version of this dress color here. And we can also turn on drawing assist again so that we don't have to, you know, just individually sketch over these lines. And here is the point where you can also make edits to your dress. So if you see something that just does not look right, you can change it here. Or you can also use quick shape to refine your shapes just a little bit more and make things a little bit more smooth. Just be careful with the Symmetry Tool. Sometimes things get a little bit pointy, and you don't want that for this particular dress. So I'm going over those lines. And I'm using quick shape here for the spaghetti straps. The straps in the picture are a little bit more narrow, so I think I'm gonna use the edit shape tool to make these just a little bit smaller. And then you want to make sure that these shapes are closed, especially if you want to set this outline layer to a reference, so you can just drop the colors in. This is where you can, you know, change things up, show a little bit of variation here. And it goes by a little bit more quickly because you know what you are doing this time. Okay, so let me turn this drawing assist off here because I didn't have it on before. And I'm just going to freehand this part. I need to clean that part up with the eraser. And then do these final 2 tiers. I can draw that center line and double check too. Sometimes I've done this where I was switching back and forth between layers and I thought that I had created a new layer and I drew on my sketch layer. You don't want to do that because you won't be able to turn it off once you are done. So just always double check before you begin to finalize anything. Now, if I want to use the reference tool to set this as a reference, I need to go in and double check all my shapes are closed. So I have a little gap there. Turn drawing assist back on. And then you can also clean up some shapes. So I want to clean up those darts there. That little wing on the edge. And I'm just going in and making sure everything is closed, so that I can use this as a reference. So I have a big hole here. I actually have 2 holes. Just turn it back off. And then I also want to clean this part up. So I think that is everything that needs to be closed. Now, there's 2 ways that you can kind of fill this in. So I'm going to do the first part, and I do like the color of this dress, so I'm just going to press and hold on it so that I can get that color. And then I am going to turn on drawing assist on this layer. And then just how we retrace the shape of the dress with the inking, we do that same thing to fill it. I went outside of the lines a little bit at the top, but I'll fix it. We just want to kind of close this in. I'm just gonna come back up here at the top and do this because I have to turn the symmetry tool off at the bottom because the bottom is not symmetrical. And let's fill in the spaghetti straps. Okay, and then I am going to turn off drawing assist. Now I just want to fill in the bottom here. Okay, and I'm just gonna drag and drop, and then it's colored. Now I do have a few parts in here that can be cleaned up with the eraser. And then the parts that are symmetrical, of course, you want to turn on drawing assist, and the parts that are not, you can turn it off. So even though this didn't take long, there is a quicker way to do it, kind of like a more coloring book style, I would say. So I am just going to add a new layer and turn that previous layer off so that we can see how it looks here. I'm gonna choose pink for the color, and we want to set that outline layer as a reference, and then we can just kind of drag and drop the color in there without having to outline it. You could even color block and make, you know, different colors. I should do that gray so we can still see some of the details. Okay, so you have many different options to color this. Let's see, for the straps, let's make them green. just one more time. There we go. Okay. Now, this is enough to kind of communicate the design of the dress, but if you wanted to go ahead and add shading and different things like that for some of the folds, you can go in with the airbrushing soft brush, and to add just a few more details, you just want to make sure that that part has its own layer, and then you can also turn on the clipping mask to add some additional shading. So this is just something that I like to do when I am practicing drawing a reference sketch for classes, or if I find out a new fashion vocabulary term and I just want to draw it out really quickly. I will use the Symmetry Tool and not, fool around with the croquis and different things like that. Not that croquis are bad. I do love croquis, but sometimes this just takes away an element and allows you to focus on the actual garment. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it was helpful for you.